What is good, Podvengers? Welcome back to another epic episode of Cinestro. Of course, your boy Blackscreen. Today we're discussing the recent Marvel news drops from CinemaCon and the latest episode of Marvel's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming on Disney Plus. Let's get right into it, baby.
Cinestro called the cast. It's your weekly gold mine. Stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. They got me the beats. Got those comic spins. I stay tuned in. Stay tuned.
Let's get right into it, man. You already know what time it is. The Nation of Rizlam is here to present to you the greatest form of entertainment you can ever see, the Cinestro Core. Let's get started with at the top. Before we get into our main topics tonight, we wanted to take a moment to pay tribute to one of the most iconic faces in cinema over the last.
It's Luis. Luis is back. I know. Thank you, Matt, for the wonderful introduction. I know you guys missed me. I know my hiatus has been very hard for everybody, but thank you for such a warm welcome.
Overtaking
Matthew,
the in memoriam
it's
segment
great
of
to
an
be
episode.
back. It's great to be back.
This is like
Thank you so much.
this is pulling a Kanye West at a funeral, being like, "I'm gonna let you finish this eulogy, but I'm back."
Sorry, Val Kilmer.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Sorry, Val Kilmer, but Luis was the greatest actor of all time.
Holy
Good
shit!
Lord.
I'm kidding.
No,
On a serious note,
in all
No,
seriousness, we are paying tribute to the legendary Val Kilmer, born 1959. Unfortunately, passed yesterday, April. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I was like, y'all bullshitting me, bro. I was like, y'all cannot be doing this. And then I opened first of all, I opened Backstage OL because David said it first, and then I was like, no way. Then I checked Backstage. I was like, ah.
You know how
real.
fucking vile and evil you have to be to make an April Fool's joke about like a older, sickly actor.
They do it a lot.
Yeah, they do it a lot.
They do it a lot.
They do
This
it on
one's
a daily
unfortunately
basis.
That takes a
This one was
special type of
unfortunately real.
asshole, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, speaking of assholes, Iceman started off as an asshole in Top Gun, but became a very beloved character throughout the course of the movie, of course, and then throughout the greater Top Gun franchise, Top Gun Maverick. Val Kilmer has portrayed many a character. Just to name a few: Batman, Doc Holliday. We were just talking about Heat on the pre-show. Like, we've got so many movies that he's just graced us with epic performances. We can keep going and going all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's not enough words to say how much we appreciate his contributions to cinema and to just the world itself. He was an artist through and through. Seemed like a genuine good guy, and it's unfortunate that he passed at such a young age at 65. You know, usually folks get to live until they're like 90 something. He was battling a lot of different illnesses.
He was battling cancer for a while, right?
Throat cancer.
On and off. Yeah, throat cancer. Yeah.
And one of the cool things, I know y'all gonna be like, damn, he mentioning Top Gun Maverick again for like the 13th time in the one episode.
13 in a row.
In the one episode.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
One of my favorite details about Top Gun was that when they brought him back for Maverick, he had been going through the whole throat cancer thing, and they had to take part of his voice box out. So obviously his voice has changed. But they tried to reconstruct it using some like technology at first, but then they had him just actually read his lines, and all they did was record it, like boost
he wanted
bit,
to,
so it's clear. Yeah, he wanted to talk and make it authentic. I was like, that's real, dude. That's a real trooper, you know, pushing through
a real artist,
something like that. And that's he's dedicated to the craft for the love of the game, you know. So
no, I think Val Kilmer, you know, is such a, I think honestly like an icon. You know, you mentioned some of the characters that he's played, you know, in regards to, you know, cinema history. He's one of the most, not only was he incredibly successful, like in a time where like being handsome really took you a long way. You know, I think something that's hindered his career very early on, but people realized, oh no, he also has the chops to back it up. He was a very talented actor.
Yeah.
He really immersed himself in his roles and lost himself in his roles, and he was just such a incredible screen presence. You know, he was always great in whatever it was that he was in, regardless of the quality of the film. You knew that Val Kilmer
Best
is
part of Willow for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the best part of the Doors. You know,
I genuinely
By
think
far.
that I think he's one of the more, at least my main familiarity with him is as his time as Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yes, sir.
And I think truly it was around that weird time where you got like either like the very like campy kind of Donner-esque Superman, or you got like TV style movies. You know, you had like these downgraded kind of budgets, and I feel like with him and his interpretation of Bruce Wayne, there was like kind of like a sort of like thespian quality that I feel like he brought to the role. A little bit of like a more dramaticism, like where he.
Well, you should read up on the Schumacher, his director's cut.
Yeah, I that was actually what I was referring to. I believe it was the deleted scene where he does a similar reference to Batman Year One, where he's like, "I'll do it, Father. I'll become a bat." He has the bat hallucination. There's like this kind of there's this like air, this kind of suave about him that also is hidden with like a little bit of darkness behind him. And I feel like he was one of the first people to really bring that to the Bruce Wayne character. And just in general, a terrifically talented man.
He was like what Brad Pitt is now. He was like they all say about Brad Pitt. He's a character actor stuck in a leading man's body, and I think that's very true about Val Kilmer. I think he had the range and the talent and the skill to kind of play any number of characters, not only like the leading men, but was just blessed or cursed with
I mean, his performance in Tombstone
with great looks,
just like us,
is probably one of the greatest performances in movie history. Like, I mean, it obviously gets talked about a lot, and like people are willing to say it's his best role. But I think what you're saying is like he's just so good in all of his roles, but he's just in that movie, he's really just it shines, and he was built different.
He was built different, yeah. So it is a major loss. So rest in power.
Truly, he
that was my Batman growing up. Like I watched Batman forever. I'm like probably 2 times a day.
I think that was everyone's Batman too for a while, because like Michael Keaton was the OG and all that, or really Adam West. But
whoa, George's.
Hey, not too much on my goat.
George was
not
mine.
too much on my goat.
Fuck you,
George was Hispanic, passing in a Mexican household. He was very good.
If you think about think about the level of like excellence and the care that Val brought to each of his roles, I feel like his Batman obviously Top Gun stuck with me. His Batman stuck with me. Tombstone, banger movie. Doc Holliday, one of my favorite portrayals of any character. And then of course, just every other role afterwards, man. It's like you can't say no. Bang. Oh yeah, can't forget that.
Oh yeah.
So Val Kilmer, you will be missed. It's been an honor getting to see you perform and just bring smiles and tears and all the emotions through each role you've undertaken. All the best and prayers and love and care to his family, to his kids. Hoping everybody has some sense of peace right now. So
inshallah, we will see him again.
Inshallah.
Fly high, Iceman. Fly high.
Now,
just real quick, time to. Oh, you gotta go ahead, Az. Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I didn't know we were still on the Kilmer topic. I was gonna.
Oh no, we're good. We're switching up to the next thing.
We're switching to the next thing. Ah, damn, Matt. Kobe and Dwayne Wade, or whoever other basketball people we are right now. Excellent layup. Excellent layup. In video game news, which we don't cover a whole lot on this channel, but there's a pretty big thing that has happened at the worst time possible. The Switch 2 was revealed to have essentially the hardware of a lower end gaming PC, which is so great. We should have it's basically a PS4 Pro at this point.
PS3.
A number of newer launch titles are coming, and there's a lot of like backwards compatibility where they're adding more GameCube games. Everybody's really excited for it. I personally don't give a goddamn rat's ass, but what I do find fascinating is the fact that due to a certain lovely little orange man who sits in a White House with a big red button that can nuke the planet, a lot of tariffs have been placed on a lot of foreign imports and due to the fact that all of the Switches have to be imported from Japan to the US, there is going to be a significant increase in pricing. Usually nowadays, if you get a new game, it's like around like $60, maybe at the most $70. You go crazy, go a little bit stupid, maybe like $95 to $100, but that's for like an ultimate edition.
I'm not paying that. I don't give a fuck.
I'll wait for the sales.
Oh yeah,
tariffs and
PlayStation Store.
Yeah,
I haven't spent more than $20 on a game in like 6 years.
I wish I could say that, but I spent $100 on Mortal Kombat.
Aren't they doing this thing where you can buy the cartridges, but that doesn't mean you own the game? You
You're essentially buying a physical digital license to download the game.
It's very fucking late.
Hey,
no one's happy about that.
If the services ever stop, the game's gone. You do not own that game anymore.
Or whenever they want, they're like, you know what? Fuck this, and just delete all your shit for no reason. You're fucked.
Essentially. And my favorite part about
that's another topic on physical media.
Yeah.
It's safe to say we all just, we just switching up on this shit, man. Like I was really excited for Nintendo for a little bit. I was like, I might get a Switch and add it to my collection. I'm not. I don't care. It's over. It's Nintendo over.
We're at a point where
we get it.
It's estimated to be around like 400 to like 430, about around that range. That was the speculated price for the US market.
Tax.
But due to the tariffs, the price may skyrocket to upwards of $600 to $700, which is quite fascinating. Meaning that Switches,
which means
on top of that,
6 to 7 before the scalpers. Which are going to come.
This is before the scalpers, which will inevitably lead to the great PS5 famine of the 2020s, which I'm so excited.
Which one of you niggas is paying $1,000 for Nintendo Switch?
I'm not
Who
doing
is paying
it.
$1,000
Not
for
this one.
The closest
Nintendo to Switch?
There is genuinely two games on this entire thing that I care about. It's Silk Song. They finally made the fucking Hollow Knight DLC that I've been wanting for the longest fucking time. Jesus Christ, like 30 fucking years.
Chat, and raise your hand if you know what that is.
Play Hollow Knight. There's one viewer listening right now, like he's right. Yeah, there we go. Luis,
I said chat.
And then the other game, they have this like spiritual successor to Bloodborne. It's a because Sony would not let them port Bloodborne to PC. They wouldn't let them make another Bloodborne sequel. So FromSoft was like, "Hey, Nintendo, can we technically make one?" And they're like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" And so it's gonna run on the Switch. I'm honestly just gonna wait because I know that shit's gonna be ported to PC in like about a year, so I can just wait. Fine, I don't really care.
Especially since it's
but yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking like it's not really looking like it's gonna go well. Honestly, when they premiere these things, they're gonna be like, man, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be a movie. But you know what actually is gonna be a movie. We're talking about CinemaCon. I don't know.
That was ass.
I don't have anything. I'm trying my best. Okay, it's the best.
You should be.
You could have gone. Speaking of, I got one. Hold up, I got one. Let me cook. I've been gone for a minute, but I still got it. You could be like,
go for it, Luis. Give me your best segue.
Pricing the Switch that high should be a sin. CinemaCon. We're gonna start talking about
that was worse. That was
Luis, focus on the drive.
Worse.
Oh my!
That was fire, baby. That was fire. Aren't y'all glad I'm back? Aren't y'all glad I'm back, baby? Let's go.
Turn the camera off and drive.
Fuck it. This is the segue and more important news.
Wait a minute. What I was gonna say is that it's just the state of gaming right now. It's just unfortunate that people are gonna be, forced to decide between food or paying for a fucking overpriced piece of plastic with some wires in it. Not me. I'm not people.
Matt, the joint bonds are magnetic now.
I don't care what they are. They can be holographic for all I care. It's time to switch gears. It's time to switch gears and move to another scene, like the movies that we're gonna discuss from CinemaCon. That's why I do that shit, baby. That's why
I do this shit, baby.
I do this shit, baby.
It's better, but look what your competition was. I'll let you have it.
Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby.
and I'm not the fucking coughing baby.
You're
the wheezing bullfrog.
But yeah, we got big news from CinemaCon. We got a lot of special looks at the upcoming Superman film, retitled the Superman 2025. It's no longer Superman Legacy. But the footage that we saw was Superman on a snowy planet, as the Hollywood Reporter puts it. I'm assuming it's more than likely just the Arctic, where the Fortress of Solitude is at. And it's that scene we see from the it's the scene from the trailer that we see where Crypto is dragging him back to the Fortress of Solitude, and it's an extended version of that. It's about maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I think, of it was shown, and it got a lot of laughs. So that means James Gunn's humor is definitely going to be in this film, which I'm very glad, because that man is pretty good at comedy, especially with superhero and ensemble cast. So that's going to be great. We got first looks.
Honestly,
I just maybe a little bit, maybe a tad.
Yeah,
just rate it back. It's not Marvel, so we can dial it back. We also got a first look at stills from Beyond the Spider-Verse, a film that I forgot was happening genuinely, but I'm so glad we got something news. We got stills from it.
Spider-Man them 3, bro. You know what time it is.
It's not a whole lot of anything too crazy.
What's the name of the guy who plays Miles?
Shameik Moore.
I heard Shameik Moore is gonna show up in like a straitjacket with the Hannibal mask, so he doesn't attack Haley Steinfeld.
They're gonna have him with that. What's it called? That collar they put Deadpool in.
Shock collar.
The power dampener, like bro, the horny
dampener. fucking Viola Davis walks in with a clipboard. It's like, Shameik, welcome. You've been selected.
Not even that. She's gonna have that little buzzer thing that that freaking Rick Flag had, the little like the shit that was in their head. The electrical pulse or whatever it was. I don't know. I'm not a government. I'm not a government entity. I'm not a government agent.
But we get a couple stills. It's not nothing too crazy, but the visuals just already offer it from the stills we've seen in the animation. I can tell already Spider-Verse had set the wave for this new level of like low frame rate kind of comic booky animation. You saw it with that one Kid Cudi film on Netflix. Things that like even Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, right? They trying to emulated that style. More and more things are trying to go for that kind of Spider-Verse-esque energy. And with what I've seen for the Prowler stills, where it's go like this, and the fucking Tobey Maguire like fucking lunging at the camera. I just hit my knee on my table. That hurt a lot. But man, it looks so good.
Real men don't
already
feel
gonna
pain.
be blowing me away.
I saw a tweet that was like, here come the motherfuckers that have only seen 20 movies about to say it's the greatest movie of all time. And honestly,
I don't care.
And
it's
honestly,
me.
I agree.
I'm motherfuckers.
Luis,
I'm gonna say I'm motherfuckers.
Luis, you know I've seen more than 20 movies. That movie was good. Stop being a little.
I've seen more than 20 movies, and I also could agree. This is going to be an amazing.
It's going to be great. It's going to be
an
experience.
Movies? Name 3 of them.
Okay,
Top Gun, Maverick, right. Dune.
Into the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Dune. 3 films of equal quality.
Wait, you said Beyond the Spider? That hasn't come out yet.
I mean, fuck, Across. God damn it. Whatever.
Fake
Bird
fan.
Fake Dick Rider.
I don't know
fake Dick Rider.
Moving on. They also announced Now You See Me 3 and also Now You See Me 4.
Now you 3 me. Now you don't.
I'm surprised
that
this has been made.
Should have been an April Fool's joke. Nobody needs that shit.
No one
I don't know who's
shit.
asking for that. I mean,
who cares?
It's Jesse Eisenberg. He got mad he didn't get nominated for shit, and he said, "Now I'm making slop again."
Yeah,
and it's
We're also getting Zombieland 3 and what's it called?
That's
Who the
good
fuck
news.
wanted that? No, it's not.
That's
Zombieland 2 was
ass. I just made that up right now. See how easy it is to spread misinformation?
Why'd you do that?
I should start grifting.
There was genuine joy in my voice, you jackass.
You see how the motherfucker that
my
had seen 20
embarrassing.
movies that got excited?
All right. Well, guess what? Even if I have seen 20 movies, one of them was John Wick, which was announced at CinemaCon for getting multiple installments. This is going to a whole
that Ana de Armas one. That shit better be good. Whatever.
Is that how you say her name?
I don't know.
You made her French?
Wait. No. Hey, show Graham. He said it in French. I got you, Graham.
Ana de Armas.
I got you.
He said it in the wrong fucking nationality. And you're
It's
proud
okay.
of that?
She's white. It don't matter. It's all the same.
No, I'm about to say, who
But,
cares?
Not too much
but
of my
the-
queen.
Honestly,
the John
I've
Wick
heard-
universe is expanding, though.
I've heard Ballerina is not great.
Yeah, that's
Really?
what I'm saying. So why? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I'm
I heard
thinking it might be ass.
exactly. I heard that they did a bunch of
I don't know yet. We're
reworks
gonna see.
and reshoots for it, but who knows?
But
Yeah,
we're
the
getting a
thing
Donnie
is-
Yen spinoff.
That's
Which
I'm cool with that.
Actually, I'm good with that.
Cool with
Good with
that.
that.
Blind
Wait,
We're also
Wait,
getting.
wait.
You can make
Directed-
anything, and it's got Donnie Yen in it.
Daredevil.
And
Watch.
if it has Hiroyuki Sanada's daughter from the movie, fine ass, then we're good. We're
Rina
fine.
Sawayama. Or
Yeah,
She's
whatever.
gonna be in
Her.
there.
Sure.
Is that
Hunting
the
his
chick
ass
from
down.
Shogun?
Maybe. No.
No, that's Anasa Why. He's talking about the chick from John Wick 4 at the beginning of it.
I have not seen 3 or 4.
4 is a banger.
Can I say? I was gonna say.
Four's
I
great.
think the franchisation of John Wick is the worst thing that could have happened to this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
franchise.
Yeah.
It should have stopped.
Completely
I think
on
you
that.
should
stopped
stop
after the
talking.
third one. Actually, it should
No,
have
I
stopped after
just
the
don't
fourth
think
one.
you should make all the. I don't think you should make all this extra shit. I think
I don't
They're
think
gonna-
it needs
they're
a
gonna run it
spinoff.
straight into
But
the
the
ground.
4 we got were great.
like
They're gonna
that's what
run
I'm
it straight
saying.
to the
And
ground.
everyone said that 4 is phenomenal. I just haven't watched it yet, and I love the first 2. I
The
could watch
ending-
them over and over again.
This is they're turning it into some Fast and Furious shit. The ending of John Wick 4 is the perfect ending. The same way the
Yeah.
ending of freaking Furious 7 should have been the end of Fast and Furious.
And guess what? And guess
But they're
what?
going to bastardize it.
Ballerina's so bad they included him in the fucking trailer. That's how you know
Yeah.
this shit's cooked from the go. He's supposed
I'm
to.
not gonna lie. The moment in 4
Yeah.
where they like push up on the
What was
headstone, where they're like John's gone. That's the end of John. I was like, they're gonna dig up that motherfucker like they did Hugh Jackman's corpse, dude. They're gonna. I don't care.
Yeah,
He's
like,
gonna be back.
Yeah.
He's making
I'm
too much money
thinking,
for them to not do this.
I'm back.
Because I don't think anybody really saw that. They put it on fucking like Peacock, I think, the Continental.
the
or something.
cop.
I don't think any, did
The
any of you guys
show?
see
No
that at
one's
all?
seen that.
I don't think
That's
anyone saw
out?
that, to my knowledge.
Wait, is that
It's
out?
been out. That's
Bro,
been
it
out.
came
for a
out in
while,
like
dude.
2022.
minute.
Yeah, see,
Or 2023.
that's
A year
this
and a
shit's
half.
done.
It was
This
like
shit's
2 years
done.
ago.
Make Keanu Reeves Revan and then stop John Wick.
Gonna-
I think
Grand
it's time for
agenda.
them. It's time for them to move on from that.
They
and just
too
let that
hungry.
shit go.
Fuck me.
Speaking of hunger, we
yeah, they're
have
making
a
another.
Hunger
They're making another
Games.
Hunger Games.
Atta
prequel.
boy, Gerardo.
Nice.
Atta boy.
Yeah.
No. My
They
brother-
announced they're
making
a-
a-
I
They
thought
announced
you
the
well,
Hunger
son.
Games prequel. I
That
don't
brother
care about
Star
it. Do
Wars.
any of you guys give a shit about this? Because I
Now,
don't. give a
see,
fuck
okay,
about
I'm
Hunger
gonna call
Games.
that out. That's bullshit right there because the
Can I speak?
Songbird is the Ballad of the Songbird
Uh-huh.
is amazing.
It's not bad.
It was,
It's
it was
not bad.
fine. I
It's
didn't hate
good.
it.
And I don't like musicals, and that's got 3 or 4 fucking musical like sets in it. Song.
It's got like
It's
10
literally
minutes
just
worth.
it's
of
just Rachel
Yeah.
Ziegler
2 hours
singing on
and
and
10.
playing the guitar. It was basically Monica Barbaro in.
You
She
can't hire
sucks.
Rachel
Known-
Zegler without
She
having her
sucks. The
sing.
guy who plays President Snow is what makes that.
No, he's
movie.
hot. That's all you need.
No, he's really good.
could
That
play
last like
Draco
30 minutes of that
Malfoy.
movie, he's phenomenal.
They cast him as new Draco
but-
Malfoy, please.
I think Hunger Games
He
has
could be
a
Lucius.
surprising
I see it too.
crowd, and it's gonna make money. And people
Oh,
are
it's
gonna
gonna,
make
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah,
make
no.
a lot of money.
It
Agreed.
doesn't matter if it's ass, or if it's good, or if it like someone kills a baby on set. That movie's gonna make money.
facts.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
then there's
there's,
I'm gonna
Especially-
be there. I don't want to, but I will be
the,
there.
The last 2 things that they've talked about at CinemaCon, at least in terms of major-ish news. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is getting a sequel. I'm not necessarily excited for
No!
that, but I do
am.
want to see it. I will
David
see it. I
Fincher
like the first
is
one. It was
directing,
fun.
dog.
I actually never saw the first one. Huh?
It's pretty good. It's a
on there.
genuinely fun film. It's
Pretty
pretty good.
fucking good. It's really fucking good.
It's
It's
probably
fucking
one of
good.
his best movies.
Fucking,
Tarantino banger?
It's
Undisputed. Undisputed
Brad
banger?
Pitt acting alongside DiCaprio, right? As his I think it's stuntman.
No,
correct?
Leo's not. Oh, the first one, yeah.
In the
Yeah.
first
Here's the
one,
thing.
right?
Look, this movie is gonna be incredible. Script written by Quentin Tarantino, directed by David motherfucking Fincher.
See,
Oh,
that's
hell
what.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
okay, I need to watch
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
because David.
Yeah, you
Fincher,
need to watch
I'm-
the first one.
I didn't know
Yeah,
Fincher
no.
was involved again. All right,
No,
that's
he's,
good.
he's directing it, starring
Yes,
everyone's favorite abuser,
Did-
Brad motherfucking Pitt.
he's definitely
This-
mine, right behind
this
The
Johnny
guy who
Majors.
definitely did not kill his wife.
This movie's gonna be
Art imitates life.
It's gonna be awesome. I mean,
I do not condone or acknowledge these things.
Was David Fincher in the first
for legal reasons.
Something to do with the first movie?
No, he didn't. David Fincher didn't do it. Quentin
David
wrote
Fincher
and
was
directed.
making Mindhunter.
Quentin wrote and directed the first one, but you know how David Fincher has like an overall deal with Netflix, so he's doing a bunch of movies. So the reports are saying that Quentin Tarantino is going to make his 10th and final film, the movie Critic, but then he kind of scrapped that idea and then kind of took that script and made it into the script for this movie, and David Fincher is going to direct it, and it's a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it kind of is intertwined. It's kind of a new thing as well. The original script was supposed to be about a critic who wrote for a porn magazine, and Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like a movie buff. So they've kind of like taken these two ideas and mixed. I don't know, bro. It's great. I think
it was a nigga on Letterboxd, the gooner.
I don't think they're gonna fuck it up. It's fine.
They're not. It's hard to fuck it up.
Incredible, iconic talents coming in to make it. We'll be fine. I'm gonna watch it 4 times. I'm gonna pay for the 4th one. We're good. I'm happy.
I think
3 tickets on the AMC stubs.
Yeah,
paying for the 4th. I see the vision.
And speaking of visions and looking at things, we got our first look in Marvel news at what the Century looks like, because for some godforsaken reason, toys can't stop just spoiling shit every time. But
I think the movie will look better.
I'm gonna be so real with you. This toy in this picture looks like butt.
I think
it's a toy.
However,
it doesn't
the
look
costume,
like
the costume is gonna look fire as hell.
It's gonna look good in person.
Yes,
on screen.
Because the problem with the toy, and I feel like if they do the same shit that they do with every single Marvel costume, I'm gonna be kind of mad. They did a little vest shit. I see it on Daredevil too. It's pissing me off. Stop doing that. Do some real fucking costumes, man. Y'all got all this fucking money. You know how much shit? You know how much I paid for Disney Plus? All my fucking funds going to y'all shit. Bro, make a good costume, my nigga. I'm sick of this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Do not do that vest shit no more.
The toy,
I'm done.
Give him a leather suit.
Yes,
the toy kind of looks like what the fuck is his name? It looks like an older Baron Trump. Like, it doesn't look like
no.
at all.
I can see it.
It looks fucking weird.
I think they should have made Louis Pullman grow his hair out. I think it's too short.
I think so too, but I also don't think he's going to be in this blue and gold suit much. I think
he's going to be like the last 5
He's just going to be a silhouette.
The last 2 minutes,
when he's the Void, he's just going to be a shadow. Like, you're not like, I don't think we're going to see much of this suit.
His full Sentry suit.
No.
I like
and if we do, it'll be in Doomsday, because he was one of them players.
Buddy.
So
I also like how they kept seeing.
I honestly think that's fire.
The logo on the belt. I also like how
I think it looks.
I love that belt.
I think it looks great.
I know the costume on the movie's gonna look fantastic because I saw I seen it. I'm not gonna say where I seen it. I seen it, but
we're gonna say Graham after Matt's done.
I kind of like how it's not like as vibrant blue as like Wolverine suit and Deadpool Wolverine. Like, I just think with the tone of this movie, like this actually kind of fits that like dull. Like, I think that's a bit
more muted
criticism. That's criticism, a very valid criticism for a lot of MCU fits, is how dull or like just kind of toned down.
They look like a commercial, basically.
But it works for this one.
But I think it works for this, and the fact that he's probably, and there might be a sequence where he's trying to fight the Void, and he's going like in and out of this shadow form and back into this. And if you have a bright yellow and almost like a super bright blue, it wouldn't look good.
It's not going to convey well, yeah.
No, and what I think Luis talked about his hair, or whoever it was, he's got to have long hair in Doomsday. You got
1,000%. 1,000%.
Give him them locks, brother.
Give him the bearded.
And Thor needs his fucking locks back too. I was going to say,
because we're going to have a very, very iconic scene in, what is it, Secret Wars, right? With Sentry and Thor.
Yes.
I love that.
I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
The knowers who know,
where they die, right?
The knowers who know are gonna know
I need
And
to see
those who
him
don't.
rip somebody in half, like
he does to Ares and
Hey,
Season
if it's
Asgard.
Ares, even cooler. But Ares
Hey,
ain't
man.
shit right
Yeah.
now. What
My
would be
money-
clean if he
My
did
money's
it
on
to?
Taskmaster.
No, no, it's Ghost. Ghost is the one.
No,
Oh no, it is Taskmaster.
Ghost chair
Yeah.
was on the thing.
It won't. It won't. Yeah. It
It's
won't be
Taskmaster.
Task, but it would
Taskmaster
be sick
getting-
if they
getting
did it. Who
split
was
up.
the douchebag at the end of Love and Thunder?
Hercules.
Credit scene. Rip him in half. Rip him in half. I'm talking.
I mean, they're not going to do anything with them, so they might as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Use him for death.
We're never gonna see that motherfucker ever again.
I hope not. I don't. I don't
Him
want
and
to.
fucking Star Fox are both just like back burner ass material. They're not doing that shit with that.
Piss on him.
It took us like what,
Bring
like
Star Fox
15
back.
years. It took us like what, like 10, 15 years to see the fucking the leader again. We're not.
Yeah,
we're
look
not
how that
seeing
shit
this
turned
ever
out.
again. Bro, we're getting the freaking 10 rings from Iron Man back in like, what's it called, in Armor Wars or whatever. Where was this dude for the last
That shit, maybe,
Yes.
yeah, maybe
That
if
shit's
that
not
ever
happening,
comes
is
out.
it?
Who the fuck is watching Armor Wars?
It got switched
Someone
from a
is.
show. It got switched from a
or
show
Iron
to
Heart, I
a
don't
movie.
know, some
But
shit
if
like
they
that.
can hey, if they can't even make Blade, dude, they ain't gonna make
They're not
Armor
making
Wars.
this.
Then they cancel
My
that shit,
agenda,
bro.
my
Hey.
agenda has started up again, bro. We are back at it. Hashtag Black
But-
for Blade is back up.
But
Please.
you know what Marvel is making that they announced literally like 2 or 3 days ago at time of recording before this episode? Spider-Man 4, the first Spider-Man 4 to ever exist. Out
Praise
of all
God,
the
we
fucking
made it.
shits they've made.
We
We
made
finally did it. Inshallah. We've done
It
it.
is a-
Spider-Man brand
AZ.
new day.
AZ, it is a brand new day, isn't it? It's a brand new day, my brother.
It's a brand new day. We are finally getting it. It's coming out in 2027, I believe they said, correct?
Inshallah, it will come out in 2027.
I'll watch it now.
But via this is via comicbook.com. So
You said
allegedly
via?
it was I say via. That's what I say via.
thought it was
It's
via.
I say via instead of via.
No,
via
via works. It's fine.
Speaking
It's like
Via
Yeah,
works if you're
American,
fucking
man.
stupid. Yeah, go ahead.
But
like the,
according to doing some research, comicbook.com
American.
has did a little bit of an interview with the director Daniel Cretton, where he said, "I'm spending my time exploring the next stage of this amazing character with a team of the most incredible artists in the world. We're all just nerding out over the suit, how to swing, create an event, an emotional story, and a ride that we haven't really seen before. The synopsis of the film is it's set either during or after the events of Doomsday. Graham, did you get clarification on it? During the events of Doomsday. Peter Parker is determined to lead a normal life and focus
nigga
on
moving
college,
around,
stepping back from his responsibilities as Spider-Man. However, peace is short-lived when a deadly new threat emerges, endangering his friends and forcing Peter to reconsider his promise. With stakes higher than ever, Peter reluctantly returns to his Spider-Man identity and finds himself teaming up with an unlikely ally to protect those he loves. The story is set to be grounded, and finally we're getting a street level. Now, this is weird because if it's during the events of if it's during the events of Doomsday, right? Depending on what goes on in that movie, I'm very concerned that this is going to take a weird multiverse pivot.
Yes.
But also,
it'll be if it does, it'll be at the very
hopefully
end.
at the end. Hopefully it's at the very end because they're saying it's going to be more grounded in street level.
So it was before they reached a deal because after they get a couple solo movies, a couple of like cameos, not cameos, but like features in other movies, and then they have to restructure their contract. So before the contract got restructured, it was going to be another multiverse movie. And now, this is before Dustin Daniel Cretton came in, who I think is going to be like top choice. I love me some Sam Raimi. Would love to see him come back to do Spider-Man one day. But I think
Shang-Chi, GOAT, my GOAT.
But Shang-Chi was great, and that hand-to-hand combat is something that we need back with Spider-Man, and that like grounded kind of thing. So I think if it's during Doomsday, I would be willing to say that it's while like people are going like all
while they're off doing that, this is happening.
They're offering that, and what I think would be disgusting way to tie both movies together is at the end of Doomsday when he reveals his face and it's a Tony Stark variant. And so, do you remember Marvel Nemesis, that game
Right, perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, check it. Listen. So you know that intro where it's like Captain America's disappeared, like it's the news reporter talking, like all the shit's going on. So imagine that's how you either end the movie or you open the movie and she's like, Venom's dead, or not Venom, like Captain America's dead, Punisher's disappeared, and oh my god, it's a Tony Stark variant. It's like doing all.
We said a hero's here, a hero's here.
Yeah, a hero's here.
What we're dealing with.
But it's Doom fucking everyone up, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's Tony Stark. It's not Tony Stark." And it's almost like the end of the second Spider-Man movie.
I hate you 3000.
So I think at the end of both of those movies, Spider-Man realizes he's like, "Oh shit,
Earth is open today."
Now, one of the things that I did find fascinating while I was researching this is apparently he's going to be getting a new suit because
black suit.
He's working with the art director. He's working with the art directors to give him like a newer look. So that final swing suit we got at the end of No Way Home, I think we're not going to see it for very long, which kind of is a shame. I kind of liked it.
I think it's one of the best suits ever made.
It was like a more saturated color palette of like a Rabia suit. For sure. Yeah. It was more close to it, but I'm excited.
It's not that bullshit ass.
But that also might be bullshit. They might just be saying that because you're in every superhero movie. There's going to be at least two suits. They got to sell toys. They got to sell toys. I would venture to say that the suit that he wore at the end of No Way Home will be his friendly neighborhood suit. The suit he wears around New York or whatever, and then he's got this other suit that he's got to like, oh shit, I got to lock in.
Amazing suit.
That's the exact same name they're going to use when Spider-Man 3 comes out, and you get the different skins, and they all have different names. That's going to be the friendly neighborhood suit, is the one Graham was talking about at the end.
Now, I love it.
Real question. The real question we should be asking: will the enemies in this movie have to look up and see little PS4 buttons or PS5 buttons above their head?
on their head like a triangle circle.
They're gonna be looking like that Willem Dafoe meme, like just. Here comes Tom Holland.
So do we think that the Kingpin shit's gonna kind of go into that?
I think it might. I think
the best way to do this will be.
I hope it connects.
Like Kingpin obviously has this force that's going on. And the show.
Graham brought this up when we. I'm not about to cut you off, but you brought this up when we were talking about the Daredevil hype, and like, of course, we'll dive into it more with our Daredevil discussion. But everything that you said would happen happened, and I see how they'll line it up with the greater MCU. I don't want to go too deep into it right now because that's, like I said, we're going to talk about it more with Daredevil here in a minute. But keep going. I just want to.
You don't think that's hopeful, wishful thinking? Is them tying it into the MCU at large?
I mean,
he name dropped Spider-Man. Kingpin basically name dropped Spider-Man.
The point
really? I haven't seen it.
He said in
the point of Born Again is to tie Daredevil into the MCU.
Yes.
If they don't connect it to Spider-Man, which is his biggest contemporary in terms of street level crime in New York, I think it'll be a huge mischance.
Red Gang.
Absolutely.
And also, I think they've done a pretty good job.
He's already been teased in No Way Home. So, I mean, that was a toe in the door.
You're right.
And also, they had the...
If they didn't want to tie it into the MCU, they would have just made it season 4.
Yeah, they would have just talked about the fucking incident again.
They legitimately, in contract, cannot add Spider-Man in... like, Sony is the only one that has the rights to hour-long series with Spider-Man. Or 30 plus.
Until
Marvel's...
Disney gets enough money to buy those rights back.
They ain't gonna do that.
They already
they will never do that.
That's the only rights as far as
Sony gonna have me outside their fucking doors. If I get another Spum C film, Sony's gonna have me outside their damn doors, demanding that they release.
No, but I think
there's
a reason Sony kind of stopped making the Spum C movies, is letting them make a Spider-Man 4 when they hadn't made it before. If it's true and they are tying Born Again into the MCU and into Spider-Man, I think there's a reason that's all kind of happening at the same time. So maybe Sony's Sony's like, hey, we've learned our lesson.
You have to think about Venom and Secret Wars. Secret Wars is where brother gets the black suit. That's what's going to happen. So when it comes to that, you know, some restructuring is going to have to happen, and that's what Emergency Awesome was saying. Like after Secret Wars is when their contract's going to get restructured again, and either they're going to get hour-long like rights, I guess, and that would honestly be a sick way to like do say season 5 of Daredevil. Like I would actually love to see Daredevil be the one to help Spider-Man with this Venom symbiote.
Let me put.
I genuinely think that we are in for just a genuine, dare I say it, a work of art. And speaking of art, fuck you, that was great. That was
before we transition. I have one last thing to say, bro. I have one last thing to say, man. Sony, listen to me, Sony. Listen to me. Listen to me. Give Marvel the rights. It's over. Y'all are done. Thank you for your service. Give them the rights.
No, actually, thank you for your service.
The unthank you, the opposite.
For your service.
Piss on you.
Yeah.
Fuck you for your service.
Sell it. Give it up. That's all I got.
But you know who does spectacular service? New York's finest in the latest episode of Daredevil. We're talking about Daredevil.
I know you're not giving me fucking propaganda right now.
That's the best I got. Just segue to the goddamn episode.
We're talking about Daredevil today. That's a segue.
Daredevil Born Again episodes 5 through 7.
5 through 7.
Not a lot happens in 5. We really just get Matt stopping a bank robbery, and we get some interaction.
Dad, my goat.
Yeah, we got Kamala Khan's dad, so that is actually pretty cool. Yusuf Khan. We get so it's a little bit more of a greater tie-in to the MCU, specifically because Miss Marvel is one of the first just straight up
Marvels.
She's in the Marvels, she's made
the leader
jump from
of the Young
streaming
Avengers
to the movie. So that's
why she's in California.
We have exactly. Oh, West Coast Avengers.
Yes, that's exactly why she's in California.
Okay.
Yep. Cassie Lane. They're going to get Cassie Lane.
I know what that means for sure.
But yeah, that's basically the synopsis of episode 5. I thought it was pretty serviceable.
Can I say this real quick though? Real quick.
Of course.
After reading what a bunch of people were saying about that, we had said that it was a filler, and you can kind of tell that it almost doesn't necessarily it definitely throws off this linear progression of this story. But after I rewatched it the other day, I rewatched both episodes back to back, how they were released, and I will say it was a damn good episode. Not the best of the season, but it shows why Matt needs to come back. Why Daredevil, and that he wanted to be there, or else he wouldn't have just walked back in and thrown himself in this stupid situation.
Because those Irish people are just walking around robbing banks and shit.
He can't let that shit happen.
He's gonna handle those animals.
The best part was when he pulled that red mask and just fucked that dude up at the end
in the hallway.
He fucked up evil Colin Farrell. Bro.
That hallway scene. That hallway, dude. They cut the music out. And you could just hear them dude, I love that shit this season that they're doing. They cut the music and you could just hear the heartbeats and the punches. Dude, after rewatching it, I enjoyed the fuck out of that episode.
You bring up a great point, Graham. I think that is something, and I've been kind of hit and miss about the show as a whole. But I think that's something that I really like about this iteration of Daredevil is that it's how they show us his powers. Or how he uses his power. Yes. Whereas the Netflix show is just kind of they tell us how they work, and then we just kind of take it as it is.
You just kind of assume he's always like this, but you don't get those moments.
I like how this one cuts the sound out. You can his sound focuses in on something. You hear heartbeats.
They have got to do Spider-Man senses better.
Yes,
because of the show.
1000%. Because I think genuinely that the Netflix show, as great as it is, did have that one caveat of because it was separate technically from the MCU, right? It didn't have that true integration with the way that Born Again does. It was going for a much more grounded, a significantly more muted, more grounded approach to it. Yeah. and
not
being able, but kind of like
it's budget
sort of
reasons though.
Yeah, he's a fucking blind man who fights people, bro. I mean, I get wanting to keep it grounded, but at least shows how
so is Kane.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's also a lawyer though, and he's I think the way
pretty good lawyer.
Like, yeah, you know, and I think just I agree. The way they've been showing his powers and shit is great.
AZ walked off. He said he didn't like that.
I did not. But I think they're genuinely doing a very great job of really delving into it. And I think episode 6 and 7, I don't know why, especially after episode 7, I think we'll get into a little bit more later. But I have this weird feeling when I watched that episode that I don't feel like as like, yeah, we're back, baby. The devil's back. Right, I don't feel as like hopeful. I see Daredevil in the show the way I see him in the comic, in the sense that like him being the devil of Hell's Kitchen is kind of like his addiction, his drug. It's him giving into like more of his baser instincts.
Oh, for sure.
And I felt kind of bad after watching episode 7 when I started to see how much it tears down this like good life. Like it. Conventionally, he has a good life. You know, he has his career going great. He has his girlfriend and everything.
He got a bad bitch.
But,
his side.
But he still feels like at his core, he's not. You know,
he has to do that. He has to be that, and he has to unleash. He literally has to unleash. He has to, and he has to unleash this primal.
I love it's like me when I go to the slot machine.
No, I love that shit, and I think that's the best part of this newest episode. Episode 7 was when she is talking to him and kind of giving her therapist spiel when they're on the bed, and he's like, I know, like I'm trying to be better at this, but I can't. Everything feels fake. I thought that that was amazing.
But that's something to show.
He doesn't want to go back to that, but he has to.
But he has to, yeah.
And the thing is he's progressively getting more brutal. Like if he wouldn't, I mean, obviously he almost hung Muse in that cell,
episode 6
or whatever the fuck crazy. It was. Like brother almost he almost lynched the man, and then he did.
Real.
He did.
No, yeah,
that's what that was.
He did.
Right, Matt went a little. Matt's ancestry kicked in a little too much right there.
But that's something. That's something.
I don't know what color he is under the mask, but I got
I can see. I'm colorblind.
I don't see color.
I also thought that he was gonna fucking kill Muse. He was.
I totally thought so.
If she wouldn't have shot Muse, he was gonna kill him.
Oh
I mean, yeah, he shot a fucking grappling hook through his chest.
Also, I appreciate the fact that they're using the tools. They finally got my man out there looking for real fucking Daredevil, bro.
First of all,
the swinging
is Melvin.
The swinging's got to look better. Season 2, they got to change that CGI swinging bullshit.
Well, don't show it in pitch black. That's the main thing.
I'm looking at Ben Affleck 2002 movie when he's
goated movie.
Goated movie. Yes, it don't fit.
It doesn't work for this, at least.
It ain't working.
Need Matt to switch his Kane logo from the little thing to the devil imagery.
And I've got one more thing, and then I'll let everyone else go. But I'm actually loving this little setup they're doing with Vanessa, like her trying to take down Kingpin and shit. And when he was like, hey, call Vanessa and ask if she wants any take home, because I ain't calling that bitch. She just tried to set a hit up on me, but I need you to let her know that I know what's going on and that you stupid as fuck, and I'm still Kingpin and I'm on your ass.
I also like new what's his I can keep calling him New Wendell. I don't what are the
New Wesley? New Wesley.
I can call him New Wesley. What is the British British Wesley?
His name is Buck.
His name's Buck.
Buck.
Is the new Wesley.
Buck? Look,
because Wesley got fucked up in episode 11 of season 1. Shout out.
This show is doing a really great job of taking characters that I didn't give a shit about, or I was just like, on, and they're elevating them to more of like a prominent status, like Graham mentioned with Vanessa, right? I didn't really care about her side plot and everything, right? But I do kind of now had this epiphany after episode 7, looking back at like how Kingpin had that guy that cucked him with his wife in the basement, and he like beats the dog shit out of him. I kind of started to see like more and more threads of like their bond kind of severing and getting more of like the comic book Kingpin, to where he's like, I don't need nobody or nothing. I just need power.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
This. Like I could do this.
Yeah, like he's the true Kingpin of New York. And when you're the Kingpin, you delegate, but you don't put yourself on equal footing with other people. He's seeing her as more competition, and I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah. Yep,
Dare I say he has been born again into the Kingpin.
So I think that's what's cool. It's born again reference. No, you're right though. It's talking about both of them. It's talking about both of them.
Yeah, they're both getting renewed.
I think my favorite part. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, how do y'all feel about that? I think that's something I've been trying to grapple with, the fact that Kingpin and Daredevil.
It's just because you don't like Vincent D'Onofrio.
What I was going to say is that I feel like they've been so intertwined and interconnected since the inception of the Netflix show and into this show. And I get that, they're arch nemesis and stuff, but it rivals. But I don't know. There's just something about Kingpin being so prominent and like both iterations of this story.
It's just because you don't like Vincent D'Onofrio.
I think that's got to be it.
Here's my
take. I think their interconnection.
Here's my take on that real quick, because Luis, that's a good point. At the beginning of the show, they try and show that they're moving, they're quote unquote moving past the whole I'm Daredevil, you're Kingpin, we're moving and doing our own separate thing. Now I'm just Matt Murdock, the lawyer, and you're Mayor Fisk trying to take on New York and blah 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 rah shit. But the show is doing a good job of showing that they can't live without each other. Their relationship is symbiotic. They have to have. There's something about the two of them that one cannot exist without the other.
Facts.
Matt knows deep down, no matter what the fuck Fisk says, he doesn't mean that shit. He's like, I want to help New York. I want to do this. He's still doing his criminal shit on the side, whether he has a direct hand in it or not. And that's Kingpin, kind of boring, on the other hand,
don't you think?
No, I think it kind of works because you get to kind of see like the
going in
different
proverbial circles, right?
Not really,
but that's
going. But it's like you have to think of these implications of what when he's talking about vigilantes now in the Netflix show. He was just talking about Daredevil in a fucking white dude acting like an Asian and the Punisher. So now this is, I think you have to look like, and
there's broader ramifications for it.
This is going to be a counterpoint, or not a counterpoint. I think this will be a complication for Luis, but it's the implications, and you have to look a little deeper into what he's doing in the broader aspect.
Yeah, Luis, you got to think about it, dumbass.
You got to think about it. But Luis is going to be here. Luis's argument is going to be like, Luis is going to. This is exactly what Luis is going to say. He's like, I shouldn't have to. That should be done in the storytelling. So
wait.
I kind of get that, though. I kind of get that.
You should pick up the story plots from the subtext. Luis is what he said.
Okay,
yeah.
But I think personally, that's how it really works for me. Is like he's not just going after Daredevil and Punisher anymore. He's going after every fucking every superhero that's in New York, operates in New York.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I guess I think then. My problem is that they should have done that from the get-go with the first. It just feels like because we've had two different iterations under two different
there's a little bit.
What I think
it was just kind of like, damn, if they would have done this out of the way first.
I think if they would have kept this, if they keep this Muse thing going, which spoiler alert, Matt's woman kills Muse on the spot. I don't know necessarily how it's going to work. I don't think that's the real Muse because they've come out and said that Muse. I know that might could be like. I don't know how they're not going to do it. I don't know.
They get fucking Muse Junior.
But the director said that it's through 2 seasons that Muse and Kingpin are dealing with Muse. So
I also think I'm kind of with Graham on this because I feel like compared to the Netflix show, because you're bringing Daredevil into this broader, sprawling epic that is the MCU and this larger world as a whole, right? We've seen a lot with a bunch of different Marvel projects, specifically like movies and somewhat of the TV shows, right? They have all these things happen, but there's no real consequences. There's no true ramifications, right? I think the last thing that I felt there was genuinely like real ramifications for was maybe like
Infinity War
and Endgame, right?
And Loki,
like
some of the Loki
show as well, like with the TVA and everything. But other than that, you know, when you have like these more like lower level people, like you have people like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Nothing really happens to that. WandaVision, kind of, but not necessarily. You know, they kind of just. But
there's ramifications in this show, and you can clearly tell that
they're trying to build something off.
But that's the thing. Are there ramifications? Or like, oh, I'm anti-vigilante, and then what happens when aliens attack New York? It's like none of that shit matters.
That's a good point. It's also a good point because
if you think about it, is to see how the Kingpin deals with that shit. Now that he's the mayor, he has to deal with.
But it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter once Doomsday happens and Secret Wars happens. This is small potatoes.
Well, unless
it's like small potatoes for now.
Okay, well here's what I'm saying. It's hard to feel like this actually matters in the grand scheme of the and this is probably the problem with doing something that's like TV and then the movies aside. Like if there were a movie series, it'd probably feel a lot different. But it's like this feels like small potatoes. Like this shit's not gonna matter when Doom attacks the fucking multiverse.
Let me throw you this out there real quick. Battleworld. Doom's going to make Battleworld at some point, whether it's the void that we see in Loki and Deadpool and Wolverine. There's going to be some type of version where everything comes together and these main characters, heroes or villains, will be all together. Kingpin's going to have a leader role, even if it's going to be some huge multiversal thing. Like if he's on Battleworld, he's going to have a section of something to run, because at some point, you know, and I think that this is a problem that we have talked about, is how quick Doomsday is happening and how quick they're kind of making shit happen. Like if, say, Kingpin, Fisk has been the Kingpin for the mayor of New York for years. By the time Doomsday happens, it's probably not. It's going to be probably for like a year. Doom is going to be like, okay, I see what you're doing and I see how you're combating my villains, aka the heroes. I need your help, and I need you to either have a hand in controlling, say, a sector of Battleworld, or just helping me control Battleworld. I think somehow they can incorporate the Kingpin into
and also
because Tony Stark is gonna take his mask off and look at Wilson in the face and be like, "Why are we in the city when you can rule a whole world?"
And also. Bingo. And that's what Kingpin wants at the end of the day. He wants power, right? Because for him, he masquerades himself as this philanthropist, this saint, right? This glorious savior of everybody, right? But at the end of the day, he really wants power. Like I believe it's in episode 6, right, where he's talking about how he had all these people like running drugs for him at the doctor doesn't refer to them as gangsters or employees. He's like,
that's in episode 7.
They were just
that's in episode 7.
They were blue collar people, hard working. They're essentially they're fucking criminals. They're thugs,
gooners.
Right?
They're gooners.
But he posits himself.
You called?
He's so far disconnected. He's so far disconnected from the actual ramifications of his actions that he will justify it through any lens that he sees fit. He genuinely sees Daredevil as a villain and frames him as such. He doesn't view the cops that he calls heroes as heroes. He's just using them as a means to the end. It's a core part of his character to do what he has to do to gain the power that he wants to do.
We don't even have
and I feel like it's present to the show.
Yeah, and I think that's what's cool. I think that's what's cool with going on with the Vanessa storyline too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning of the show, I was kind of like, okay, this is getting a little too therapy session-y. But I think when I look at it like the Tony Soprano kind of vibe of like he's going to this therapist and shit, he essentially is using Vanessa just like he uses everybody else. And now that Vanessa's kind of stepping out of line, he's like, no, you really are nothing to me. And
Exactly.
this is you're just a step on this staircase to get more and more power, and hopefully this is me hoping that ties in with Doom. Doom recognizes this, and that's how Daredevil and the Kingpin incorporate into Doomsday and Secret Wars.
I'm seeing
and Spider-Man too, because I mean, Devil's Reign is one of the best like comic runs, and I would say the last.
It's pretty goddamn good.
It's fucking
amazing.
And just
Also,
and I think the cool thing is like we've already had the voter registration or the hero registration
with the Sokovia Accords, and
so
also with I think that yes, the MCU, they try and connect it, but there's so many like you said, there's so many little minute things translating over from the comics. The anti-vigilante task force, like I said, Sokovia Accords, also with Ross and all the shit going on from Cap 4. I'm about to list off 6 things, man. Freaking Spider-Man, bless you.
Sorry.
Like you said, Spider-Man playing a larger role on the street level side. We're gonna get more shit from that, connecting it to how, obviously he's in New York. Fisk is the mayor. He's bound to pop up at some point. If they don't do it, I'll be kind of surprised. Also, that anti-vigilante task force, motherfuckers, stolen valor ass niggas, bro, trash. Anyways, we don't condone or support the propaganda I'm seeing. We need Frank to come back and handle these mans.
I'm very hyped for Frank coming back. I truly want to see how he deals with this. I know how he's going to deal with it, but I want to see.
It's Ray Stevenson.
Oh yeah,
I thought the last episode that said excessive force,
full on FUBAR.
The episode that said excessive force, I thought that was going to be Frank's, time to turn up on him. But then I was like, oh no, he's going to come back in the 9th or 8th.
We have 2 more episodes. We have 2 more episodes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think this next episode
now
is when Punisher comes back.
Now Graham posited the theory because Muse is returning. The showrunners have said we may see him again. What I'm thinking is the backstory that they gave. What was the identity of this Muse? At least
Bastion,
right?
Bastion, yeah.
The backstory on him was just a little bit too vague for my liking, and I was like, no, there's something else.
That's why I don't think there's exactly.
Yeah, just like Taekwondo, and he's a little bit crazy. I'm like, that's vague. That's like
a thin
outline.
Inhuman. Like there's some shit that we're not getting right now, and
also there's the fact that they said there was they theorized there's 60 victims dating back decades, and that would be older than Bastion. Right, because he's only 23, 24, about around that. I couldn't tell you. He's a young pup. Unless he was out here murdering fucking middle.
He was
out here
smoking Muse pack.
Unless he was murdering people in middle school, doing all this, I don't think it's only him. I think he learned from somebody.
Because that's what I'm saying. I think
his Taekwondo master, dude. It's the only
Muse born again.
Got his ass beat.
Muse born again.
He should have been paying attention more in fucking classes.
This is how the Daredevil and the Karate Kid Reborn universe.
We didn't talk about the fucking Karate Kid legacy.
We don't need.
We need to. We did. We said enough.
Bullshit.
It looks like
we said enough.
But
all in all,
Ralph Macchio did brownface in The Outsiders. Fuck him.
And the last thing I want to hit on for this episode. How do you guys feel about Gandolfini Jr.? I think it's.
I kind of like him in this episode.
Because I'm not gonna lie. In this episode, he kind of channeled a little bit of Senior. No.
That is
let's not. No.
He didn't
I don't mean.
I don't mean dad. He knows how to pretend to be him. He's not a good fucking actor.
Look. The thing is, right? I feel like he was trying to kind of emulate that kind of Tony Soprano-esque energy, but I feel like it's good only in the respect with that threat. Right, because you see him actually doing something.
Yes, I agree.
And I enjoy that aspect. I feel like
I need y'all to watch other live action projects Besides the fucking Sopranos and whatever other
Here's
bullshit
the thing.
you're watching. He's fucking ass.
As a professional actor, let me tell you something about acting.
Fuck off.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. He does. If you're a good actor, you don't need to be given a lot to do to be a good actor.
Right.
So the fact that you're like, well, he's finally given something. Okay, fair. But what, all that other bullshit that up to this point proves the contrary.
I agree with AZ though. I thought this little clip of him was by far the best that he has done.
Exactly.
The bar is in hell.
The bar is low.
You don't believe him as an actual credible
Here's the
threat.
thing. But let's look at
this.
I see where both. I see where both arguments have some ground to stand on.
Right.
Because yes, I agree with both of y'all. Both parties. Yes, he is not good. He's not a good actor in this at all. But until this scene, and that's because he set the bar so low.
Exactly.
All he does is go around and glaze fucking Fisk all day. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, Fisk. I respect.
Matt, you know what's the perfect comparison?
He's a Trump supporter for Fisk. The same.
You know
shit.
You know what's the perfect comparison of this, Matt? It's like saying that Will Smith is the best of like the 2013 Suicide Squad. Yes, but look what everything around him is.
Will Smith is an incredible actor, though.
Yeah, he's an incredible actor.
That's the thing. You can't compare Gandolfini Jr.
I mean, sorry. More so
Jr.
More so Deadshot in that film, right?
The
bar is low.
Like comparing
clear
Will Smith and Tommy Wiseau.
Baby.
I agree with you, AZ. I agree.
The bar, nevertheless, I think both me and Brand, as well as you and Gerardo, like Matt was saying, I think Matt was right. Both of our arguments have
yes, that's a valid point.
He's not like when you listen to him talking to BB in the club and him talking to Fisk in the office. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're just there reading some fucking.
What is your purpose?
Like, bro, do some shit. Then you see him in episode 7. He gets a little bit serious. Now, I do wish it was someone else who was a little bit more intimidating who could play that both. That both sides.
Because
he just looks like a dork.
Dude.
He looks like a no, and this is no shade to my man's, bro. Keep doing you. You got a job? Cool. He looks like it's like an incel trying to flex his muscles a little bit, He's like you screwed me over, and I really like Mr. Fisk. That man right there did so much for me. I'll suck him off right now.
He's doing
really did so much, and I'll tell you what,
a caricature of someone who should be real. If this was a comedy or a satire, that would work because he's doing a character of what his dad was doing in The Sopranos. He can't pull that off. There's no believability behind it.
It doesn't land as well, and it was the same way for me. But the longer he got into the speech, I kind of just accepted it for what it was. It was like, that's probably the best we're gonna get out of him. So why not?
If he keeps going down this little, like, if this is say the beginning of his incel journey, then it's a decent start, and hopefully,
I think I figured out. I have had this theory since the beginning of the show, and for those of you who are listeners or viewers who are familiar with the comics, you remember when Kingpin puts out that hit on his son in order to toughen him up, right? Kind of grooming him to be like a protege. Essentially,
they do it to him.
I think that's kind of what they're going for.
Well, we did talk about that weeks ago. We said let him
beat the shit out of him.
Kid,
but now I see it more prominently.
Kind of like a stand-in for Baby Fisk.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. But all in all, I think we're at a good spot. I'm 1,000% sure that it's
good. The show is good, people.
Yeah, it's mid.
No, the show's good.
I think it's genuinely good. Now, is it consistent? Not necessarily.
That's what happens when it's a Frankenstein project, though.
Exactly. But I think
we talked about this with Cap 4. Look at how it was it was good. It was not great.
Right. For what it is,
it was too many things.
It is much
going
better
on.
It could have been much
worse.
Exactly. Because look at the history of MCU shows, bro. Secret Invasion, freaking
Captain America,
literally all of them.
This is
literally
no contest. This is no contest. Best Disney Plus show.
I would say second place. I'd say second place. Loki.
So Loki season 2. So Loki season 2.
It's good. It ain't this good.
I'd say
it's subjective. That's the beauty of it.
I also, it is refreshing. Actually, no, I might be with Graham because it is refreshing to finally have a street level fucking story after all this multiverse trash.
Yeah. And it's
wow.
gritty.
Did Miss Marvel mean nothing to you?
Piss, Luis.
It was fun, but I like this better.
Just say you're sexist and call it a day.
Wait, Miss Marvel
and racist.
Miss Marvel's good.
It's good, but it had time travel and interdimensional gin. There's not some
and it was
shit going on like that,
and it was cool.
I liked Miss Marvel.
This got a blind motherfucker.
Look, I like Gaga, but what the fuck does she know about
this? Is more unrealistic. It wants us to believe.
I like some of the Gaga songs.
It wants us to believe. She know about cameras. This show's more unrealistic because it wants us to believe that a balding motherfucker can pull bitches, and we know that is not true.
Oh my god, Luis,
that is not
I've seen this episode.
I've seen it in real life, and it hurts to watch, but it is true.
Hairline born again.
Believe it or not.
I refuse to
believe it or not.
I'm sorry, Luis. The bar is low. Balding men can pull.
Yeah.
Call me the hairline. Call me the hairline Gestapo. I I will not stand for this.
Brother, John Travolta's married. Anything's possible.
He did.
Let's not touch John.
John Travolta is gay.
No, we don't want to.
I'm joking.
I don't want to do this.
I'm joking.
I'm not.
Allegedly.
Wrap it up.
Well, but all in all, what have y'all's hype meter changed? I think mine might be about a 9. I'm thinking I'm at a 9.
Mine's still at a 9.
Daredevil.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I still get excited every time an episode is supposed to come out. I'm hyped.
Luis, it's just because you don't like Vincent D'Onofrio.
Get him off my fucking screen. Get him off my fucking screen.
It's the only
you can't be like,
dude,
you can't be like the only reason. He's in almost every scene. Of course, I hate this fucking show. He's in it too much. Get this motherfucker out of there, bro.
When I became mayor of this city, I swore an oath to
all of y'all
making a parallel story is a little weaker than what it was.
But to wrap the discussion, my hype meter's at a 9. Graham's yours is at a 9. Matt, what's yours at?
Probably at a 8.
You got 2 episodes left.
7.5 to an 8.
7.5 to 8. Okay.
Yeah, it's around there. Okay. We're gonna see what episode. I think the thing that's gonna do it for me. Let's say Punisher does show up this next episode. That's gonna push me to a 9 because every time I see Punisher,
was reading on Twitter that they're saying that 8 and 9.
I'm glazing.
Which is this is kind of something I feel like is a random like pick out because obviously Punisher's heavily in the next 2 episodes. They're saying that the cinematography in these next 2 episodes is what really sets it up, and I'm like, okay, this could either be really good, or if we're seeing a bunch of cinematography of the CGI rooftop bullshit, then no.
So where was the cinematography the first 7 episodes?
It's there other than the first episode. I don't know what you mean.
It was passable.
The first episode was doo-doo.
It's not even just the first episode. It's the first 15 minutes, and then not even 15. First 10 minutes. And
what I do need though is, speaking of like the camera work and the cinematography, the Muse fight I did like
because of that. Yeah,
I do think that it had a little, and specifically in episode 7, I like the long fluid shots of action more for Daredevil because that's what it was known for, and it had a little bit too many cuts for my taste.
Yeah,
but other than that,
because they can't direct.
But I think that's a setting thing because that's a chaotic moment. His woman's like on the verge of death, kind of thing. So, and this is, I'm sorry, a tangent to make this a little longer, but I watched those guys on Instagram who break down scenes, and they were talking about the Sicario scene where they're at the border, and it's like depicting how part of this shot is the cuts. Or where it's like, it's from her perspective. I haven't seen Sicario, so
incredible film.
So I've heard.
Get on that. It's on Netflix right now.
So when they're filming it from Emily Blunt's perspective, it's way more cut up because it's chaotic and she doesn't really know what the fuck's going on. And when it's filmed from like Benicio's perspective, it's way more fluid. It's a little more drawn out, and that's because he's calm in that moment. And I think that that's something you got to kind of which that's an argument. There is you shouldn't have to think that much, but I think that's why it's edited like that, because that's a heat of the moment decision. Before you got to make a decision before you even make the decision,
right? It's serviceable for what it is.
But before I give you my hype, I would just say this one thing about I think the MCU at large. I think this discussion about Born Again in particular, I think kind of really shows like the state of the MCU and where it's at, is that most people you either fall on one side or the other, right? You either are like, actually, I kind of like this, it's whatever, it's fine, or you're like, this is not working. And I think it's like a project to project basis, right? Captain America
now it is
like that. Daredevil, right? Post Endgame, right? Post Endgame. And so I just think that this, and for me, I've been like, hey, actually, I kind of enjoy everything that's come out so far. I don't know what it is about Born Again. Graham will say it's because it's Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't know what it is.
You make me want to slice myself and make art with my blood.
But my hype meter is a 6.5. I think this show's going to be disappointing. It's been a whole pack of mid for the most part. So
you're insane. You're the only person that thinks that.
Let's hear from Gerardo.
You know who else? This is coming from someone who likes the third season of The White Lotus. Luis, die.
Have you watched The White Lotus?
Have you watched I've heard.
You're
no, I know you. Yeah. I know you like whatever the most people like.
You're a nepo blazer.
Art house and bullshit.
You're saying that I go with
because you like the highbrow bullshit. Sam Rockwell talking about fucking lady boys and all that. Whatever.
People hate this season of the White. People hate this season of the White Lotus.
Shut up. This season has been good. I'd say my hype is like an 8 right now.
Y'all are out of y'all's fucking mind.
There has been filler. There has been some middling.
One episode of filler.
There's been some middling aspects, but
in 9 episodes, that's ridiculous.
Shut the fuck up and stop interrupting me. I can forgive it because the show's been cut to shit. It's okay. I'm willing to give it that grace. I want to
usually, and I want to point this out. Usually, Gerardo, I feel like leans along of, they're brothers, so it makes sense. Leans along Luis's mindset. So I think that Luis, you're just out of fucking pocket.
You're just a bitch. You've been making too much actual art.
Get off
he came at that speed and now
you're right. I didn't get off my. You're right. I didn't get off my bullshit. This is incredible. This is fucking cinema, bro. What am I talking about? The greatest things in sliced bread.
Speaking of getting off our bullshit, that is a wrap for today's episode. Big ups everybody who tapping in with us. As always, we appreciate the support. Keep following, keep sharing this podcast with your friends and family. We're trying to get this up to 200 subscribers before May because Star Wars is coming anyway. No spoilers. No spoilers. Go ahead and tap in with our boys over there at Backstage OL. Like I said, they got all the news and details of all the things coming up from Hollywood. Everything you want to know about movies, TV shows, games, you name it, right there, Backstage OL. Follow our boy AZ, Tariq Singo, on the YouTube, on the twitch.tv, twitch.tv/Tariq Singo. We got
a video on dinosaurs dropping. It's an Invincible character video dropping next week, so watch that.
Or the Battle Beast video, my brother.
Battle Beast videos are played out, bro. Everybody's made one. I want to make one on dinosaurs because he hasn't been seen yet.
Rest in peace to the GOAT. You'll always be my Huckleberry. I love you, Val Kilmer. I cried last night. Rest in peace.
Oh, it's
beautiful. About to watch Top Gun Maverick before I go to bed real quick.
He's in 2 minutes of Top Gun Maverick.
Greatest 2 minutes of the whole film. The most
just watch the original Top Gun.
Facts.
Watch Matt's the real. Only seen 20 movies and these.
Nah, bro. Do you see this shirt? Do you see this shirt? This has been brought to you by Paramount Pictures and
Paramount.
Just like how everybody's opinion was brought to you by Disney Plus because they got the fucking check.
We got the check. Speaking of the check, go ahead and check us out at all our socials right there. Cinestro Corp, no S. But until next time, guys, appreciate y'all. Always love the love and support coming in. Tune in next week as we talk about some other cool bullshit. See you.